everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this week we're talking all about door manners with your dog. So teaching your dog not to rush out the door like you see Wrigley doing here without you giving the okay to do that. It's a really nice safety behavior for your dog to have. If a friend comes over and they accidentally leave that door open, your dog having the understanding that that door open actually means I'm not supposed to cross that threshold and actually get reinforcement for staying inside. So ideally I'd be practicing this with a door that leads to a backyard or some kind of fenced in area so your dog is contained. However, you can practice with an exterior door. I just have Wrigley here on a harness and a long line for safety if she does decide to bolt. So where we're going to start is I'm just going to reach over, jiggle that front handle, and then as soon as she looks at me is when I'm clicking and giving her a treat. So the criteria here is look at me when I do anything with the door and you get reinforcement for that. Okay, so after a couple repetitions of just doing that, now I'm actually opening the door a little bit. So same criteria as before, I'm waiting for her to look at me, give me eye contact, and I'm going to click and treat that. A quick side note here too, the reason I have the long line dragging on the ground and I'm not holding it, you guys can absolutely step on it as well for an extra safety measure if your dog really does bolt out the door pretty quickly on you. But what I don't want to get in the habit of doing is holding the leash back, so I'm physically restraining her from going out the door. What that will teach her is I can't go out the door while the leash is on, but when the leash comes off, I have freedom to go where I want to go. So here you see I'm actually opening the door a little bit more and keeping it open as she's getting reinforced for a little bit longer periods of time. That door is staying open. As your dog does well with this, you can advance more quickly with it and actually leave that door open for them. Now, if she were to try to bolt out this door right now, all I'm going to do to prevent that is shut the door. It's a pretty simple process. All you have to do is close the door. Be cautious not to close it on your dog's nose. And again, if you do have a dog that is very, very good and sneaky about bolting out the front door, I'd spend a lot of time on those smaller steps with opening the door just a crack so your dog really understands it. So when you get to this point where the door is wide open, you're not going to have the dog that is immediately trying to get out of it. Now, depending on what you want your dog to do in this moment, I asked for a sit right there. I don't really have a criteria for Wrigley for sitting, lying down, doing anything fancy at the door, but this is a good stage to start to incorporate that into it if you would like that behavior added. When you open the door, your dog automatically sits. So open the door, you can ask for the sit right there, click and treat that, and then also still rewarding for maintaining that eye contact with you and not focused on the doorway. Okay, so what you're going to see me do here in a second is incorporate a release cue that lets your dog know it is okay to cross that threshold. The other thing that you want to add into this release cue is as soon as you give the release and your dog goes through that doorway, getting in the habit of as soon as they hit the outside pavement, clicking the moment that happens. What this does is it spins your dog back around and they start to expect reinforcement for that. So it's an added safety measure. As soon as you release them, they're not bolting into the street or anything like that. If maybe, they're not hooked up correctly to their leash or anything like that, you have a dog that nicely spins around and pays attention to you. That's pretty much it for this behavior. So the important thing in this one is starting from those really beginning stages and spending a lot of time there, especially if you have a dog that is really good at bolting out the front door. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. I hope everyone has a great week. See you guys next Thursday, and happy training.